Ah yes, it's time for the spookiest part of the year, the time where the ghosts, witches, demons, and vampires all come out to play. As iconic as all these figures are this time of year, there's another that's just as important in the whole scene of scariness, the Grim Reaper. As a commonplace figure, he's quite popular, especially in the media. Through the likes of TV, movies, anime, and video games, this iconic bringer of death manages to appear and be awesome. And here are my top 5 versions that appear in video games. Now, they don't necessarily have to be the typical black-hooded, scythe-wielding figure that we mostly depict him as. There can be some alterations. Anyways, enough jibber-jabber. We're all dead unless the video starts. What's that I hear in the distance? That the ever-feared whistle of death from a lady sniper? I do believe so. Now, you may not consider Margaret a real Reaper of Death, but when narrowing down my choices, for number 5 it was either her or Ragna from BlazBlue. And my favorite boss fight from the No More Heroes games versus some guy from a series that I haven't played much of. Yeah, I'm picking the lady. While the closest to having the appearance of death is her being dressed up in a gothic attire, she still manages to do her job as a Reaper by killing people. She is rank 4 after all. As for her weapons, not only are they sized that she can use to attack you up close with, but hidden within are sniper rifles where she can shoot you from afar. Now that's a creative weapon concept if I've ever seen one. Better than anything I could make anyways. And since just about everyone who's talked about Margaret has also gone into extensive detail about her theme, I'll just sum it up quickly. It explains how she kills those who are sinners, and the last thing they hear is her song. Though the previously mentioned her not being a legitimate Reaper, plus the fact that there are just better versions of her in other games, keeps her at number 5. She's still good though. Oh no, I died in Conker's Bad Fur Day. What could possibly happen next? List about Grim Reapers, so obviously expecting him to show up, but what kind of character would make an appearance? It's rareware, so I'm sure they'll come up with something good. Meet Greg the Grim Reaper, a short guy who's just doing his job. You meet with him twice throughout the game. First time is when you're dead and haven't died prior, so that he can explain the life system to you. Second is when you're about to enter the level Spooky, where he decides to give you a shotgun because he dislikes the undead. And a single shot to the head will manage to take them zombies out instantly. Hey Greg, wanna get Margaret to help you? She's good with a gun, I hear. The shotgun proves to be very useful in this level as it deals with the zombies much better than the frying pan would. Despite only 2 short appearances, he gave you useful information along with being incredibly entertaining. Plus, he's an actual Grim Reaper, so better than Margaret. You know what I love about The Sims? Committing genocide. Adding tombstones to your already apparent collection is always fun. Haha, stupid Sims, you have no freedom. But what comes along after some innocent people have just been burned to death? The Reaper. He makes his appearance and takes his mortal soul with him. When the original Sims first came out in 2000, your character just kinda died. Death message shows up and then tombstone. But when the Live and Large expansion came out 6 months later, they actually had the character of Death come to reap the soul of the deceased. A nice touch. Plus, along with him, you're able to possibly bring your sim back to life, either in full or as a zombie. In The Sims 2, with the University expansion, you have the option to bribe the Reaper and, depending on how much you pay, you'll be able to resurrect them and they'll either be a zombie with some negative effect on them or fully brought back to life. In The Sims 3, if your character has a death flower, you're able to trade that for your life. And in The Sims 4, he pretty much does the same thing. You know, if there weren't better versions of Death, this one definitely would have made number 1 because of how nostalgic it is to me, along with being a good Reaper in general. But there are better versions that appeared in games after and before The Sims was released. Let's just find out what they are. What would definitely be my favorite Reaper design-wise, next up we have Spectre Knight. Let's go off the list here, shall we? Cool stage? Check. Great music? Check. Really cool boss fight? Put 20% on that. His stage is already called Lich Yard, which means a yard full of dead bodies, so that's a start with the whole reaping part. And they gotta go somewhere. And hey, why not use them to attack enemies as opposed to just leaving them there? Not only is he cool, he's smart. Along with skeleton soldiers, he's also got those fucking ghosts that you can't kill. And when you get to his fight, you find out that he was brought back to life for the specific purpose of taking out Shovel Knight. And in the fight, he'll throw his scythe at you and teleport to the other side of the screen to catch it. Then he'll summon some more skeletons to help take you out. Gotta get them reinforcements in because I'm too cool to actually attack myself now. When his health is almost fully depleted, he'll darken the area so that lightning is your only source of light to help you, like earlier in this stage. Spectre Knight really does make for a great Reaper. All the stuff I said prior definitely makes him one of my favorite fights in the game. There really wasn't any question as to who I was going to put as number 1 on this list. Definitely the best Grim Reaper in any video game is Death from Castlevania. I couldn't just not put the most iconic Reaper in video game history any lower than number 1. Any sort of list like this would be incomplete without his presence. He has appeared in the most amount of games in the series, tied with Dracula. He's appeared in every single entry aside from Haunted Castle and the 2 Game Boy games. Being the right-hand man of Dracula, Death obeys his master's every command and takes shit from no one else. He even does not obey Alucard, one who has the very blood of Dracula flowing through his veins. And forget it if you're Soma Cruz, because even the reincarnation of Dracula is not safe from the scythe. Either go full on Dracula, or forget about an eternal being made out of bones being on your side. His loyalty to Dracula is so real that he willingly gives him his soul in Portrait of Ruin so that Sir Bloodsucker can become true Dracula. Death even takes commands from Matthias in Lament of Innocence as the role of the final boss. Why the hell the Lord of the Deceased is bowing down to a vampire is beyond me, but hey, whatever floats his boat to the river Styx. But not only is he a formidable opponent, he's good at deception and manipulation. Seeing as how he can disguise himself under the identity of Zed in Curse of Darkness, and how he was able to get Jonathan and Charlotte to inadvertently take out Bronner for the purpose of reviving Dracula. Even if I haven't played all that many Castlevania games, I can still recognize his importance to the series and his overall iconic status as a Grim Reaper. However, I do wonder what he'd be like as a boss in Castlevania Darkness of the Pachinko Machine. Whoa, you made it to the end slate. I appreciate it very much. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was quite fun to work on, so I hope you got the same out of it as I did. To watch my last countdown, which was about Ace Attorney, you can click on the top link. But maybe you're tired of hearing my voice. Maybe you want a group of people who also do countdowns and are quite stellar at what they do. If you want some of that, then head over to Challengers Approaching, which is on the bottom. They make some pretty dank stuff. I'm not part of it, this is just my own sort of plug to them for anyone who's not subscribed already. As always, have a grand day and go reap the soul of the living. For candy! Wait, I got this out a day late.
This is crap.